Hey yo, hey yo, hey yo, hey yo. What up, what up, what up? It's your girl Naja Lee, and this is Her Court, Her Rules, the realest women's basketball breakdown on the net, and the only place, y'all, where hoops meet higher perspective. Okay, y'all, before we even get into this show, man, let me tell y'all, I had about a straight 20 minutes of audio drama. Okay. And I'm still coming down. Okay. But I just want to give myself a pat on the back because I handled it with grace. And I always tell the people around me it's not about just crossing the finish line, it's about the grace in which you do so. So yeah, that's just a shout out to me. Sidebar. Okay, boom. Let's get into it. The top 25 rankings are out. Okay. But the question is, do they actually tell the full story? And tonight on Her Core, Her Rules, we're going to break down the top 25 teams and the best players in the NCAA women's basketball D1, okay, conference. So, who's real? Who's overrated a little bit? And who are those players and or teams that are quietly creeping up, building something on the low key, okay? And maybe potentially can do something dangerous come March. So from Audi Crooks to Azzi Fudd, from Texas to UCLA and more, we're going to tap in and talk about some of the players and teams that are shaping this season's identity across the country, y'all. And we got a lot of teams to talk about, okay? But before we get into the show, y'all already know how it go and how it go. Okay, each episode is powered by For Your Lens, a lifestyle brand encouraging dope people like you to do, to live, to move, and do all things with purpose and intention. And we are on the road to 500 subscribers. So every like, every comment, every share, and most importantly, every subscriber is much appreciated, y'all. So while y'all here, be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe, get into the chat, y'all. Leave a comment on your way in, on your way out. But if you don't do nothing, if you just hit the play and tap in with me, much love, much appreciation. Always, y'all. Appreciate that. Y'all, man. Y'all know why we here. Y'all know why we here. Y'all know why we here. We're here to talk about the NCAA women's basketball because they've been y'all already know how early in the season start, right? When the NCAA first kick off, it's just a lot of blowouts, a lot of blowouts, right? But with the blowouts, and you might have a tough game here and there, but with the blowouts, we kind of get to see who's who in basketball, and we really kind of that top 25 really starts to shape itself in forms, right? So we already know once we get into January, mid January, that's where we start to get in the thick of things and start to really see in conference basketball. But right now, let's just talk about the teams and the players that have stood out thus far this early in the NCAA women's basketball season. Let's go right to the top 25. Boom. The conversation is this, right? I mean, did they get it right? Y'all get into the comments early and let me know. Did the AP get the top 25 right? Okay. If they didn't, who is your number one team in women's college basketball and why? Get into the chat and let me know early. Listen, so UConn is undefeated, right? UConn been marching through, stepping down, right? They've been doing what they need to do on the backs of Sarah and Azzi, right? They've been, come on, man. It's undeniable. We can't even argue it. But what we can debate about, okay, what we can debate about is if Texas don't deserve to be number one. We can debate about it. We can't debate about it. If y'all think they got it right between the one and the two, let me know. Because I think right there, that's where the conversation starts, right? The conversation starts there. 1 and 2, did they get it right? I don't know. I don't know, man. Listen, what Texas been doing? Let's talk about it. What Texas been doing? Sheesh. It makes me scratch my head what Texas been doing. Okay? Okay? Harmon, she just dropped 14 assists a couple games ago, right? Come on now. 14 assists? Stop it, y'all. Stop it. All right, let's look at their last couple games, man, because you listen. North Carolina thought they had a chance. I don't know why they thought they had a chance, but this game here, and it's better to look it up on ESPN because CBS stats be a little janky. Don't worry about it. We're gonna talk about why Texas is number 2 and why UConn is number 1, provided to us by the ESPN article that supports the AP Top 25. So let's go to that article real quick and let's talk about it, because I want to hear what ESPN had to say. They said the UConn Huskies, right? In a weekend when the number 1 team lost in college football and the men's college basketball, the Huskies easily avoided the upset bug, routing DePaul, okay, 102-35 on Sunday, as Sue Bird's jersey was raised to the rafters as the 3rd women's player at UConn to have her number retired. Do y'all see that score? 102-35. 102. That's not a typo. That's nasty work. That's nasty work. They are number 1 in scoring so far this season as well. They have put up the most points in NCAA women's basketball. So when you have 792 points up on the board, okay, in your 10 games, and then I go back here to Texas, put this one back up. Texas has 776 points scored in their 12 games. I can see why UConn is number 1 and Texas is number 2, right? Even though I want to make the argument because the individual players, I think, on Texas team, I think they can do more for longer stints. And this is not longer stints in the game. This is like longer stints in March Madness, right? Just because of what they've already done. Respectfully, just because of what they already done. And then the leadership, the seniority, right? You could say the same thing for UConn. So again, it can go 1A, 1B, right? If it boils down to the top 4 being in the Final Four, that's gonna be something. But of course, LSU got something to say about that, right? LSU definitely got something to say about that. Okay. I'm gonna go back to this ESPN article. Boom. Let's go back to it. Let's talk about why Texas is number 2 from their perspective. Okay, they're 10-0. Brea Cunningham scored a career high 30 points Sunday in a 102-42 victory against Prairie View A&M. Now, again, the beginning of the season is kind of janky, right? Because they don't really play no true competition. So it'll just be like, you trying to see creme de la creme, which one on the team gonna rise to the top. So, man, you take it with a grain of salt, but still, again, 30 points is a big deal. I don't care who you scoring it on. If you never scored 30 points on somebody, put the shut to the up. Okay, so I can't get out here and say, oh, well, she scored them on Prairie. I don't know who Prairie View is, and shout out to them, but they got spanked 101-42. Okay, so outings like that can definitely solidify Texas being in that second seed, right? That's second. All right, let's go to South Carolina. They got them ranked number 3. Okay. South Carolina ranked number 3. Okay. They have scored a total of 727 points. Right on their tail is UCLA, scored 710 points, right? So, the records matter, obviously, but I think the total point score matters a little bit more, just based on how they did the poll. Because if you looked at the record here, LSU being 11-0, one would think they would be somewhere between 3 and 4, but not only scoring 642 points. So, one can think that you can make the argument like, damn, LSU 11-0. You know what I'm saying? They had a streak of 5 games where they scored 100 points a game, and that record had been established like in the early 90s. So it was they've been playing great basketball. However, they just ain't scored enough points, right? So out of 11 games, they got 642 points up. And again, UConn out of 10 games, 792 points up. So they definitely doing UConn. It's hard. I mean, damn, they got a lot of weapons, a lot of set shooters, right? And one thing about that Gino, right? He gonna make sure you understand how to knock down the shot. Okay, don't play with Gino on them open shots. He gonna bench you. Okay, and you want to definitely get the tick. Shout out to Tessa Love, always pulling up, always showing love, and always supporting For Your Lens, Beyond the Lens TV, and Her Core, Her Rules. While y'all here, y'all again, make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. We on our way to 500 subscribers. Can't wait to get there. But while we on our way, y'all, we gonna keep kicking it, keep politicking, and keep talking this women's basketball on a high level. You feel me? Shout out to y'all. Get in the chat. So boom, we get into number three right now. I feel like a DJ. Like last call. Number 3, South Carolina Gamecocks. They are 9-1. South Carolina has won 21 consecutive games against ACC opponents. That's a big deal, y'all. ACC ain't that light. Now, they got off to a slower start this season, right? Like NC State don't look good at all. Obviously, they not even in the top 25. Let's look at it real quick. Let me flip back to it. Because we only looking at the top 9 right here. So let me go down to the next, right? Let me go down to 9 through 20. Boom. Do you see NC State anywhere? Nope. All right, boom. Let's go to the last little peoples here. Okay, do you see? Nope. You see Princeton just got in, right? Right. So Princeton bounced out Oklahoma State. So it's been interesting, but again, that stat of 21 consecutive games won against ACC opponents. Yowza. Damn. Okay. Hey, if you in ACC, you playing the Gamecocks. Oh, damn. L, I guess. I don't know. Or, play harder. I don't know. Maybe do a little bit of meditation before the game as a team, and that might work. UCLA rounding off that fourth slot. They have scored 710 points. Again, this is why the argument is not really an argument for LSU to be, number 4. They just ain't put up enough points yet, even though they have a better record. Okay. So UCLA, they've been cooking. Obviously, they have been cooking. UCLA is 3-1 against ranked opponents this season. So out of the top 10, UCLA has played more ranked opponents this season, and they are 3-1. 3-1. That's saying that's saying that they're already locked in, right? When you see somebody with them numbers on side of that name, you step up a little bit or you fold. One of the two. Because you can't split, right? You either step up and rise to the occasion. Oh yeah, we playing somebody ranked. We got to make sure we do our job, right? Or you fold. One of the two. And so UCLA is 3-1 against those ranked opponents. So they ain't folding. They showing up and showing out. Behind who? Lauren Betts, right? They got a squad, actually. We're going to get into some of the teams in the top 25 players here shortly. But let's just break down this top 25 teams real quick, right? And then we got LSU 5. They are 11-0. ESPN is a little behind. Stats to know. We know about the Duke. We know about the Flaugier and her barking at Kara Lawson, one of our favorite coaches, right? One of our favorite WNBA Hall of Famers. And on that road, like they continue to build upon that, their energy. I mean, it's just like that. And when you have somebody like Flaugier who can lead a team just from her energy and her presence alone, That's major. So they are ranked number 5 right now. They're 11-0. They spanked Duke, laughed at him. You feel me? Did the 2-step over there. And that's what you want to see. That's what you want to see from an elite team, from a top 5 team for sure. The LSU Tigers set an NCAA record with 8 consecutive games of 100 plus points to open the season. So I said it was 5. My bad, y'all. My bad. My bad. I was -3 on that. 8 games of 100 plus points to open the season. And that's crazy because they're still not, you know what I mean, in that top 3 of scoring total points overall. But they went 8 games with 100 plus points. What's going to happen, like, when they get into in-conference game, right? You're going to have these other SEC teams. Y'all got to, that damn LSU, don't let that record fool you. Even though the record, they're undefeated, but don't let them being number 5 fool you. This can easily be a number 1 team. Easily, right? So don't sleep. I know what you're thinking. Don't sleep on LSU. Okay. Number 6. Wow. 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 Okay. Being that I am from Ohio, right? Okay. Born and raised a Buckeye fan. I've never once rooted for Michigan. Okay. But I've had the pleasure of watching them a couple games this season. And boy, are they well coached. They play hard. They do all the fundamentals. It's a typical Midwest team. It's what you expect when you play Midwestern teams, right? We're not that flashy, but we do everything well. Okay. Look at the Iowas. Look at the Iowa States. Ohio State is trying to get back into that groove, right? You have a lot of teams. Look at Kentucky. You have a lot of teams that just play really good old-fashioned basketball. And Michigan sitting at 9-1, scoring 640 points, only 2 points shy of LSU, and LSU is known for being one of those flashier teams, right? Michigan right on their heels. So if anything, the argument could be, why isn't Michigan and that number 1 place? Oh, well, LSU is 11-0, right? Michigan does have a loss on them, right? However, they are a well-balanced, high-scoring team. So don't get it twisted. Even though the fundamentals are sound with Michigan, they show up to play. For real, for real. Michigan shot 58.9% from the field in its win over Purdue, right? And that was the start of their Big Ten season. Now, if y'all were here for me last episode, I was at the Virginia Tech ACC game, which was the start of Virginia Tech's ACC season. That game was at home for Virginia Tech, and they didn't show up. Absolutely not. They didn't show up. Now they bounced back against Presbyterian. They bounced back again against another little bum team, but against the in-conference team, they didn't show up. Conversely, Michigan, they shot damn near 60% on an in-conference team that they were supposed to beat. And they did that, right? And so when you show up to the opponents to which you're supposed to show up for, it matters, and the record will reflect, but not only the record, the AP poll will reflect. And so that's what it's doing right now. It's the reason why they're not number 7 in the ranking, and they are 6. Also because of scoring. Maryland has an argument to be number 6, right? Oklahoma has an argument to be number 6 as well, right? But Oklahoma, like, look, I just came over from 9. I ain't tripping. Don't even bring me up in this. This ain't even my business. I'm good. Right? They cool. Okay. And Oklahoma is sneaky. Maryland is sneaky. Michigan is sneaky. We all know about these top 5 right here. UConn, Texas, South Carolina, UCLA, LSU. These names have been in our conversation for the last 3 seasons, right? These 5 teams here, These are the teams that we've been talking about on top of USC. On top of UFC, right? But y'all, we already know the issue here. They don't have Juju. However, when this team get Juju back, probably in March, right? Hopefully, prayers up, Juju. Get well soon. When this team get Juju back, they are gonna be filthy. They gonna be nasty. It's gonna be nasty work. And Juju look a little leaner, right? And maybe that's because she hasn't really been able to like work out for real or like, really get into the motion. So maybe she will bulk up a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. She's still a young lady, so we don't know how her body's going to transform over the years. But if she is a little leaner, that's going to be very interesting, especially with her stamina, her speed, her first step. Um, good luck checking that and checking that entire team because they got a whole lot of pieces. On top of that, we know Oklahoma is a sleeper team. I'm gonna ask y'all in the chat right now. You know what I mean? As far as the teams that you're seeing, okay, we got some teams with bona fide superstars and some teams with a whole lot of depth. Okay. What is y'all preference and what do you think is going to carry you further in March? Do you think having a superstar on your team or a team with balanced pieces and a whole lot of depth is going to be the differentiator in March? Which one do y'all think would you rather have on your side? If it's for me in my house, you feel me? I'm one that I like a superstar, right? And we can look at certain teams that are just super well balanced. Like I look at UConn and I can think of the two names obviously that we know of, you know what I'm saying, Sarah and Azzi. These are the names that we know of. These are the names that we know that teams are going to scheme around. However, they can beat you in about 7 ways, right? Because they just have so many pieces and these pieces are consistent that even if AZ don't drop in, 6 or 7 threes, if she give you 3 threes or 2 or 3 threes, like sometimes you just need her to hit the one that's the momentum changer, right? But if they get up on you, if they get the lead on you, it's difficult. Like once Gino like he like a snake. Like once he grab you, and he gonna just gonna choke you out, right? He gonna keep applying pressure, defensively, offensively, right? No days off. Not playing it light because he got a lead. He just gonna keep trying to build that lead, right? But I can't say that even as good as he is and as he is and Sarah are both of them collectively, I can't say either one of them is a superstar though, right? Like Paige was a superstar. Okay. Brianna Stewart, superstar. Okay. Maya Moore, superstar. Diana Taurasi, superstar, right? I can't say Fudd, Sarah, I can't say that, right? And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm okay with being wrong. If they grow up to be the superstars I never thought they would be, I will be honored to be wrong in that fact, right? However, just looking at the eye test, I wouldn't think so. That being said, I think Longhorns got some superstars over there, right? I don't know what y'all think. Do y'all think they got some superstars over there? I do. I do. Let me pull up their roster. When I think superstar, I think Madison Booker, who just gave us, she just delivered her first triple double, right? I think 6'1" forward that can handle the ball, that can put you in the post, that can drop the three, that got all of the intangibles on top of can play defense, on top of can rebound. That's what I think superstar, right? In my opinion. I think Rory Harmon, although she's 5'6", she's quite small. She's quite small. If she was she was like 5'8", 5'9". But for her size, I think she got it in her. I really do, especially for her size. But even without mentioning her, I think somebody, when I think superstar, I think it would be somebody like Maddie. But that aside, it's a tale of two teams. It's a team that's built with supreme depth, right? In UConn, they just got positions stacked. We know South Carolina is a team with a whole lot of depth as well, right? And then you got teams that just got that one person that you know and we know they can go get a bucket whenever they need to. Go get a bucket. Not not have the bucket created for them, right? No shade, right? But go and get it. Cause sometimes you can't sometimes that screen running off that screen don't work. Sometimes you just got to get the ball. When you get the ball off the screen, somebody still on you. Now what? What you gonna do? You got a jab step. You got a step back. Okay, you got a pump fake. You got a combination, right? You don't need to do a lot, but you got 1-2 dribble moves. You got one dribble move. What you got? And I think certain teams got certain players that can go and get that. We know South Carolina got a couple of those players, right? That can just let me go here. Excuse me. Let's go to their roster real quick. Don't play with me, ESPN. Look at ESPN trying to play with me. Listen, we know Tanaya Latson got that in her, right? We know right? When she got handles crazy. We know that. We know Tessa Johnson got that in her. She get hit you with a 1-2 dribble, step back, boom, corner three, boom. We know we know at moments Chloe Kitts got that in her, right? But more importantly, we know Joyce Edwards got that in her. For sure. For sure. So South Carolina is a team that's built around depth and power players. Them dogs. I think Joyce Edwards is probably a top 10 player. We're going to talk about it. Matter of fact, let's talk about what ESPN said who our top 25 players are. Since we're talking about the top 25 teams, let's talk about the top 25 players. They got number 1, Sarah Strong, UConn. Okay. 6'2" sophomore forward. Okay. She been cooking though. She has been cooking. These are last year's stats. Let's pull up this year's stats. She is scoring 17 and a half points, 8.7 rebounds, 4.9 assists, shooting 58% from the field. Okay. What they don't say is that she be playing the point guard, she be playing the small forward, she play the center. She could play offensively and defensively all 5 positions, guard all 5 positions. She ain't vulnerable if she guarding the guard on the wing, nor do you got to worry about doubling when she down there on the post. Right? One would think that the older she gets into the NCAA and as she goes off on to WNBA or wherever her future holds, that even her body is going to transform even more. We look at people like Asia Wilson. She's going to tone. She's going to build a little bit more muscle mass as well. And I think she's probably even going to get a little quicker when she does that. That being said, for what she does right now, I can only imagine who she grows to become. And I'm just here to watch her greatness because baby girl fire, right? And she been cooking all season. And who are we to say that she ain't really like that? She really is, right? She really is. Shout out to Sarah Strong, man. Shout out to UConn. UConn again is also, as y'all know, is ranked number 1 in the NCAA. We already been through right now the top 10. I'm sorry, we've been through the top 8 already with we on TCU Horned Frogs. Let's go back to TCU. They are 10-0. They are powered by their all-star point guard, transfer point guard Olivia Miles. who recently tallied 15 points, 11 assists, and 10 rebounds for her 7th career triple-double in TCU's 95 95-50 victory over UTEP on Saturday. The Horned Frogs have won a school record 31 straight games at home. Y'all hear me? 31 straight games at home. Man, Olivia Miles, man, everybody was kind of butthurt when she transferred from Notre Dame, but I think obviously hindsight 2020, and again, whose business is it with where somebody decides to transfer, right? So Olivia Miles going to TCU, nobody could understand it, but whatever. Now that we're here, obviously it's worked out for both parties, right? I think that we've seen even Hannah on her side grow a little bit more. And I think that obviously Olivia Miles has a lot more that she can do to help this TCU program and develop their name and do some amazing things in March Madness on top of making a little bit more money. You know what I'm saying? It's working out for her. And again, she got another triple double. So shout out to her. Oklahoma Sooners, man, Olivia Chavez, man, her handles, her finishing ability at the rack. I mean, y'all know we've been watching her since high school, obviously. And shout out to technology, shout out to YouTube, shout out to Overtime, shout out to all these leagues on YouTube that we've been able to watch people like her in this incoming freshman class for a long time. So we're not new to her. But against NC State, man, she cut up out there, smoked NC State, had 33 points. They ain't know what to do with her because they couldn't do nothing with her. Shout out to Miss D. Welcome back to Her Court, Her Rules. Y'all know the realest women's basketball breakdown on the net and the only place where hoops meet higher perspective, man. Get into the chat where it's all love, all love. We breaking down the top 25 teams in the WNBA. Psych. Top 25 teams in the WBB, NCAA. Man, all these damn acronyms. I don't know what I'm doing. Alphabet soup, man. And we breaking down the top 25 players. So right now we talking about Oklahoma Sooners and Olivia Chavez, right? So while we're here, let's look at the top scorers in the conference, right? In the league. NCAA. So you got Audi Crooks, right? So we getting into the AP top 25. Again, we right at top 10 with Iowa State, powered by Audi Crooks, the nation's leading scorer, who scored 30 points in 19 minutes. 30 points in 19. Stop it, Audi. Stop it. Come on, man. This is her third game with at least 30 points this season. I mean, can we just go out here and say that she is unguardable? She's unguardable. There's nothing you can do with that. And I is it going to just continue to get worse as the season matures? Like, because what the hell? You can't do nothing with her. She's stronger than you. She got a jumper, bro. You can't not get on her hip. When she down there, she finds you and she puts you on it. Yeah, I did a video. I thought she was over her head, but she coming on strong, Aaliyah Chavez. Yeah, man. She been cooking. Audi is leading. Yes. Audi Cabbage Patty Baby Crooks is crazy. Is crazy as hell. You crazy. Man, Audi been cooking, man. She is, let's go back to what she been doing. She is averaging 27.8 points for Iowa State. I mean, unstoppable. Followed by a sleeper team, Florida, man. Florida been cooking too. Liv McGill, 25.8 points a game. Michaela Blakes, y'all know Vanderbilt been cooking. We see where let's go back to the top 25 poll real quick, because Vanderbilt is right around Iowa State, and we see why, right? We see why. Okay, they got a top 3 scorer on their team, 25.7, right? Shay in Indiana, she got 24.9 points a game. Big Hannah, right? Big Hannah, Notre Dame, 24.6 points a game. Do y'all see something interesting in these top 5 scores? None of these top 5 scores are on the top 5 teams. Y'all see that? That's interesting. That's very interesting. Very interesting. We can go upstairs if y'all want to and talk about it and break that down, the psychology behind that. Like, I wonder why, Sway. That Iowa versus Iowa State was a hell of a game. Man, was it a hell of a game, man. It hasn't been often that we've been able to see really good basketball because it ain't really been no good matchups yet, right? Not consistently. It's been kind of sporadically, right? Sometimes we catch a good first half or a good second half, but it ain't really been a lot of like really good games, right? I tuned in a little bit to the USC UConn game, but I'm like, I mean, I don't want to watch blowouts, bro. I don't know about y'all. I don't want to watch no blowouts. You said you can't wait to see Audi Crooks versus TCU. That's gonna be something. Damn, that's gonna be something. That's gonna be a good game. When is that game supposed to be? This weekend? No top player on that top 5 team. Yeah, that's crazy. None of these top players are on this top 5 team, and I just think that that's very interesting because it just shows you. It goes to show you that when I asked the question, would you prefer a superstar or a well balanced team? You know, there are a lot more well balanced teams in the conference right now, and the well balanced team are the top 5 teams, right? Yeah, they got superstars, but it's the team that collectively wins these games day in and day out. Okay, so I love to see that. Chit chat really impressed me. It's crazy. you, you be having nicknames and everything. So then we got the top 11. Let's run through these. Iowa Hawkeyes, they are undefeated. Iowa has won 7 straight games against the Rutgers, which is very, very interesting. Because y'all remember Rutgers ain't used to always be so bad, but when you but that's just showing you how good Iowa has been, right? So you had the Caitlin 4 years, right? Or 5 years. What did Caitlin do? 5? I think she did 5. So you had those years, right? And then you got this stint. This wave of Iowa basketball is incredible basketball. Let's see how many points Iowa is scoring right now. Again, that Iowa State game was crazy. Iowa scoring 430 points. They don't have the whole lot of hitters, but they do have a well balanced team. And as you can see, those are the teams that are successful. Those are the teams that you can depend on in March as well, right? Because you need that balance and those people to consistently step up, not just the superstar that if they get hot, they torch you, right? That's rolls into Kentucky 11-1. Vanderbilt right under them 9-0. Look at the points spread between these 3 teams: 430, 414, 404, right? That ain't nothing but 12 to 15 points right there. So that ain't nothing drastic. And then you got a nice little break off here when you go into this bottom half, right? This 14 on down. Ole Miss is a sneaky team, very, very sneaky team. Okay. Shout out to Miss D. Nope. February 22nd is Iowa State versus TCU. So y'all mark your calendars for that. February 22nd, Iowa State, TCU. Y'all mark y'all calendars for that for sure. Okay. Looking at this top, you know what I'm saying, this 11 through 19, is there any surprises there, right? Is there any movement that y'all want to see? Is there a team that we should be talking about, right? Is there? I want to know because we got to figure out if the teams that we are constantly mentioning, these are the teams that we expect to see in the future in March Madness do some damage, or are y'all putting y'all money behind a sleeper team? Okay. Sometimes it's best to put your money behind. Y'all know them brackets. If y'all only go and do the best seed, you ain't never gonna win them brackets. It's the sleeper teams that catch you slipping. Okay. So out of these sleeper teams, potentially, which one of these teams do y'all think can catch somebody slipping? Okay. Is it Iowa? Is it Kentucky? Is it Baylor? Even though they dropped two seeds here, right? They 10-2. Is it a team like Tennessee? A resilient team? A team that really can beat anybody. Okay. Then obviously Audi Crooks. Any team with Audi Crooks is the most dangerous team in the damn league. Okay, ads. Let me get out of here. They trying to add me to death. We ain't doing that. CBS, chill out. Cut the noise, right? Now let's go to the bottom half. The bottom half. So again, I think Ole Miss is a dangerous team, right? They got the transfer in from Ohio State. So McMahon, right? So shout out to Ole Miss, well coached, well balanced. I think they're a sleeper team. I think you need to keep your eyes open on them. Baylor is a great team. Louisville is always, shout out to the ACC. Louisville is always a team you need to watch. Now, sometimes in the March Madness, as of these last like 3-4 years, they ain't really been able to break into that top 10 to really do some damage. However, they still a scary team, right? And so even though they ain't scoring that much right now, don't worry about that, because this is a team that can always put up big numbers, especially when you sleeping on them, right? Same thing with Tennessee, same thing with North Carolina, and of course, same thing with USC and Notre Dame. Now, Notre Dame, we know, had lost 2 difficult games, right? One game, Hannah got ejected. You know what I mean? They lost some difficult games. Right? They also lost their point guard, Olivia Miles. They other guard, right? Big guard. But what I'm seeing in Notre Dame this year is a whole lot of resilience. Sometimes I'm like, damn, I wish Sonia Citron was on this team. Because they really missing that good that streaker, that person that can run off the screens, that person that can knock down that three, that crafty person. That's what they missing. But boy, do they got some players. Boy, do USC got some players, right? North Carolina got some players. Tennessee got some players. It's some hitters in the NCAA right now. Okay. Now I just went through the number one, top one you in NCAA. Let's look at number 2. They got Lauren Betts, UCLA, 6'7" senior. Okay. Last year she gave us 20 points, 9.5 rebounds, 2.9, 3. That's 3 blocks a game. Okay. She's a top contender for National Player of the Year. Y'all know, we don't know if it's going to be between her going number 1, Olivia going, you know what I mean? We don't know what the number 1 going to look like, but we do know what number 3 right now, as far as game, is looking like Hannah Hidalgo. Okay. Big H, Big Hannah from Notre Dame. Got that. She had a game this season with 16 steals. That's crazy. That's crazy. Oh, Miss have to get their offense together besides Cotty. Yeah, that's the thing about Ole Miss. Like, they've always been a scrappy, like, defensive oriented team. So it doesn't surprise me that they struggle offensively. I think, hoping that in the future they continue to attract more scores like they did with Cotty, a transfer. But, again, a scary team, still a scary team, well coached, and they hustle. So them type of teams, they'll find a damn jump shot in a heartbeat. You're like, damn, how all of a sudden y'all shooting 40% from 3 all of a sudden? What's going on here? Can Notre Dame hang with the big dogs? I don't know. Ask Big Hannah. I don't know. Sometimes I think that sometimes I think they move a little fast and they just get a little messy offensively, right? And then also sometimes I think they suffer with we so good we can just play we could kind of start off slow and pick our game up late. So they gotta find a rhythm that's consistent from tip to the end of the game. Number one. Number one. I think once they find that, then I don't think they'll be having games where they out of or they gotta play their way back into it. I just think they just gotta start off better and then keep applying that pressure, right? But I think Notre Dame is just I think sometimes I feel like they be too good, right? And they kind of take their foot off the gas a little bit. A little bit. Well, you shouldn't do that around Madison Booker, okay? Because again, I just told y'all she just gave us a triple double, her first career triple double. Um, and you know, she been cooking, right? Texas been cooking. She been cooking. Harmon been cooking. Just as a team, I mean, you talk about can Notre Dame hang with the big dogs? Texas is one of the big dogs, and in that case, I would say if it was Texas versus Notre Dame right now, I'm taking Texas. Like I'm taking Texas. Now Hannah gonna have a great game though. Okay, Hannah. One thing about Hannah is she like to smoke. She want the competition, and so she's been playing well. Flaugier has been playing well, right? We seen her barking. We love her energy. We love she was on Wild and Out, right? She's always booked and busy. We love that, right? Go ahead, go sis, go fly, black girl, fly. Do your thing. Do all of the things. That be my thing. Shout out to the creators out there, the ones, especially the ones that create with purpose and intention. Keep creating, and whatever you think about doing, do that too. Oh, I ain't got no time. Find time. Do it. Try it. Figure it out. You'll find out that you'll bump your head into something that you really love. Okay. Miss D, Maddie Booker don't have to worry about Bree Hall. No, she don't. But look at you. Look at you. Look at you. Oh, listen, Miss D is going to clown all the time. I'm not mad at it though. Y'all gotta watch it because a little chat, she throw a little ha ha. You feel me? Shout out to Olivia Miles, man. Again, she made her departure from Notre Dame, slide to the left, went over to TCU. And Miles could have definitely went to the WNBA in April. Instead, she opted to stay in college, spent her last season again at TCU, which ended her Notre Dame's team season in the Sweet 16 in March. Miles relishes the chance to play in the Horned Frogs pick and roll system as a point guard like her. Lord knows it's been looking great so far. She will have several big post players to work with while still benefiting from the NIL deals. Again, money matters. Okay. Get yours. Okay. She has said she will be more ready for the WNBA after this final year of college. She too had a strong summer, averaging 6.9 points, 5.3 rebounds, and a team high 7.1 assists in Team USA's America Cup Championship run. And then y'all know she signed for Unrivaled. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Look at her with the shade again. TCU is now guard rehab you. I mean, if you a guard and you want to make sure that your last season is done right, you know what I'm saying? Then go ahead and take your talents to TCU. It makes sense. It makes sense, right? Haley did it. Now Olivia doing it, and there's gonna be another guard next season that does the same exact thing. And if you get paid a little bit more, go ahead. And the jerseys is fire. Can't lose. Tanaya Latson for South Carolina. She been cooking, averaging 25 points a game last season. And again, she's not in the top 25. I mean, the top 5 in scoring this season, which is again very, very crazy, right? Very crazy. But nonetheless, she's been cooking and her team has been as well. Okay. Her and Joyce Edwards, dogs. Azzi Fudd, dog, UConn, complete dog. Now again, she has to typically rely on somebody or the system to help create spacing and create her shot for her. That's nothing wrong with that. One thing you want to do is have great defense and have a great jump shot, right? We know that she does have some handles. She's not afraid to dribble, but she's not going to be one that's going to yo-yo and trying to nutmeg. She ain't doing all that. She getting to her spot, getting that shot up, right? That's smart basketball. So shout out to her, okay? But it's, again, I told y'all, it's a difference between having really good players, right? Even great players that are system oriented, than you having just that superstar. These ain't superstar numbers, these are great player numbers, right? And she is that, right? She's shooting 43.6 from in her career 3-point percentage. Her career 3-point percentage at UConn is 43.6%. Smack yourself. That is crazy. Grab her shirt. That is crazy. So, yeah, she definitely one of those. Michaela Blake's Vanderbilt. I mean, she got a highlight reel this season, okay, that can really run with some of them ones. 5'8" sophomore, right? Putting over 20 points a game. Come on, man. Stop it. Stop it. The WNBA is looking crazy. If all these ladies don't make it to the WNBA with the CBA and hopefully more roster spots and all that, if all these ladies, these top 10 ladies don't make it to WNBA, smack the WNBA. Smack them. Just smack Kathy, smack everybody. Just smack everybody in leadership. Smack the board, smack everybody. Okay? Because she's a dog. Audi Crooks, obviously, we know she's a dog. She got one more year. But again, these are people that are no-brainers for the WNBA. No-brainers. Joyce Edwards, she got 2 more years. She's a sophomore. She's a sophomore for the South Carolina. She's a beast. Her footwork, her poise, her aggressiveness. What more can I say? Ms. D says she like Blakes. I love Blakes. Game. Big game. Vanderbilt. Big game. You feel me? You feel me? Joyce Edwards. Michaela Williams. Come on, LSU Tigers. What's up? What y'all doing? Where y'all at? 6-foot junior guard. Not a typo. Guard. The guards are getting big. I mean, they're not getting big. They've been big, right? Big guards been out. Tamika Catchings. Anybody heard of her? Big guards been outside, right? Maya Moore, big guards, right? But I feel like these level of big guards, they so fucking saucy is crazy. Michaela Williams a dog. Okay? Super smooth. A reliable scorer from the day she set foot in Baton Rouge. The smooth shooting Williams is a dangerous on a mid-range pull-up, as she is from 3-point range. When somebody can get you pop in that mid-range, 1-2 dribbles, pull up, boop. Sound like KD to me, right? Her scoring and efficiency remain consistent from her SEC Freshman of the Year campaign to a first-team all-conference sophomore season, but with more opportunities last season came more production. That's what happens when you rise to the occasion. Shout out to her. Shout out to her. Reagan Beers, Oklahoma. Oklahoma got some studettes. They got some studettes over there. 6'4" center, right? Giving us 17 points, 9 rebounds. These are people that, ladies, that again, every last name that I name should be in the WNBA when they graduate. Every last one. Not a one should not make a team. Okay? Not one. Gianna, UCLA. Come on. 6 feet. Senior. Guard. Not a typo. UCLA, they already went over Lauren Betts, right? We don't know if she going number 1 or going number 2. Number 2 or number 1. She probably going number 1. Probably. Johnson from Virginia. I told you I went to the Virginia Tech game. I really want to go down to the Virginia game, but I don't really want to drive that far. But it's cool, though. She is worth the drive, though. Virginia in general is a sleeper team. I'm interested to see if they may potentially try to. I know they're probably going to get a bid to March Madness, and once that happens, good luck. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck. Okay, good luck. Zoe Brooks, NC State. You know what I'm saying? Zoe is a beast. Zoe is a beast. She could be ranked higher probably if her team was a little bit better, but again, she's a beast. She's got big shoes to fill, right? She coming behind Isaiah James and Sanaya. So, but she doing what she need to do. They just need to string together a couple little more wins over there, right? And that's kind of why we don't see them. That's actually is why we don't see them in the top 25, right? It's why we see Princeton, Michigan State. Just last week, NC State was ranked 25, 22, I think, and they got bounced all the way out, right? Yeah, they were ranked 22 and they got bounced all the way out. You got Nebraska 23, Michigan 24, but Nebraska men's team is dominant as well. Princeton 10 and 0. Okay. NC State still have the best guard trio, but the coach hold them back. Yeah, the coach. It's kind of sometimes how you see with Ohio State, right? When the coach put the handcuffs on the people, I just don't like that. I think they have like a Harden, Westbrook, Durant vibe over there, and I say that like with all due respect. Obviously, men's and women's, completely different. But like how they play, how the guards play specifically, that's how I feel, especially with the Harden and the Westbrook. Like they play really big, they play really fast, but they still can play controlled and they can play in that lower post. And that's kind of what you would want to see, especially. And it's exciting to watch when your guards can, kind of give you that Chelsea Gray vibe, right? That can kind of post up and really mix it up with you. So I really like them. I've always been a fan of the Wolf Packs. But they gotta show a little bit more discipline, especially late in the game. They definitely gotta do that, bro. How y'all doing? How y'all doing, man? Again, I appreciate everybody pulling up today. Y'all know each and every episode is powered by Freer Lens, a lifestyle brand encouraging dope people like you to do all things with purpose and attention, man. Just had to take a little break for that because y'all already know we got to pay our bills. You heard? Back to the chicken. So the top 25 teams, I mean, we pretty much talked about these teams. USC again, they'll be dangerous, especially come March. We already know why. Big Juju, uh, I'm more than likely will be back and ready by March. She, if y'all didn't know, has started light workouts. So that's interesting. We are in December. She started a light workout, so one would think by end of February, she should be ready. No rush though. So get well soon, Juju. Um, but everybody else we pretty much touched on. Washington is an interesting team. They dropped 2 seeds over this last week. They are sitting 9-1. But again, these I really want to take it from here. I really want to take it from here. Okay, so it's gonna do that to me because it's hating. So from 17 to 25, all any of these teams can beat any of these teams. 17 to 25. And one really can do 15 to 25. 15 to 25. I mean, that the any of these can be there, right? If Ole Miss was 25 and Michigan State was 14, that that wouldn't surprise me. I mean, alone except for the scoring. Except for the scoring. But when you look at just how these teams play, they're all super aggressive and fundamental, right? And so when you got teams that kind of understand just the basics and they focus in on the basics, shots will fall later on in the season, right? And again, this is still out of conference. We're getting into conference play here, what, next week, this weekend? So once we start seeing more conference play, especially as the year closes and 2026 begins, it's gonna be exciting stuff. Okay. Let me see. Do we round off our top 25 in players? We got Kiki Rice, UCLA again. UCLA is completely stacked. Completely. Miss D said, I hope she can come back this season. I really hope. Like, really, it's March Madness, right? We want her back for March Madness. Now, If we don't, we think that one would think that she's gonna get similar to Paige, a whole nother season, added it so she can go ahead and make that noise because she's trying to go for at least two championships. Somebody like Juju got to finish her career with two championships, and so I think the team can continue drafting enough, or I'm sorry, scouting enough and recruiting enough assets that complement her and also that can fill the void without her. And yes, Kiki. Um, Kiki is good back. She played better with bets off the floor. Yeah. Kiki Rice. I mean, if Kiki and Betts continue to develop their camaraderie and just their rapport that they have with one another, they're gonna be dangerous in March Madness. Again, they are a top 5 team. So, and UCLA, they know what's up. Like they've been to the mountaintop, they couldn't close. So now is this the year that UCLA does something that maybe we not thinking? Nobody's really like, maybe nobody's not talking about UCLA enough, right? Quick question for y'all here in the chat, real quick. Real quick. If the tournament started today, if March Madness started today, who is cutting down the nets? Right? Is it a team in the top 25? Is it a team in the top 25? Or is it somebody who is climbing up the charts that's going to do something crazy, right? Is it somebody like an Iowa State? Is it a team like Vanderbilt that can get real sneaky on us? Is it TCU? Okay. Or we know for a fact is one of them hitters sitting at the top. That UConn hitter, that Texas hitter, that South Carolina, that UCLA hitter. Or is it the LSU Tigers? Who do y'all think, if it started today, who cutting down them nets, y'all? Now for me, in my house, right? I'm Virginia Tech, Hokies fan, right? But of course, in the NCAA, it's normal to have multiple teams you're riding with for various reasons. I've always been a South Carolina Gamecocks fan for Dawn Staley 1, Asia Wilson 2. And so because of those two people, I've continued to cheer for them, root for them, right? Pull up to the table, watch the game. I bought a ticket last year to one of the games, booked a hotel, right? I'm invested. So if the season ended today, Miss D read my mind. I want to see South Carolina, but it's up in the air right now until conference play. If the season ended today, I would want to see Dawn Staley, South Carolina Gamecocks, right there, right? With Joyce, okay, Rejoice, okay, all the alumni. I would love to see it. But I tell you, with what I'm seeing right now in the SEC, with Texas and LSU, they got some real problems over there in the SEC. The big three in the SEC, Texas, South Carolina, LSU. I don't know who I would have. I wish they had played like series. Like these are teams that I would want to say like see best of 3 because yikes, yikes, yikes. I don't. Yo, come on, bro. I want to see Raven and Tanaya win in college. I would too. I would too. I really would too. Raven Johnson just plays. She just does everything well, man. Sometimes I want her to be more aggressive offensively, but other than that, like I can't complain, man. They great, man. They great. They great. What can I say? So looking at, the top 25 women in basketball, and then looking at, we got Sarah Williams, UConn again. That's another player that, can get a lot more shine. But you got Sarah, the other Sarah, the Sarah with A, and then you got Azzi. Like, come on, man. You got Malaysia Fowali, LSU, Garzon, Maryland. Maryland, the sleeper team too. Shout out to the DMV, okay? Cooper, Tennessee. We already talked about Tennessee. We already talked about how they really, you better watch them. Again, you bet to watch them. Okay? The SEC has some teams. Okay? She led, listen, Talasia Cooper led the Lady Vols in scoring the SEC in steals. 3 steals a season. I mean a game. That's crazy. Pierre, NC State, again, they got some hitters over there in NC State, guards and forwards. Cotty McMahon transferred over from Ohio State, but how she enhances Ole Miss offensively, they just need another shooter over there, then they something. But if they get more consistent production offensively, Ole Miss is, man, Raven shut down Kiyomi. I was happy for her. Man, Raven got them. She got them clamps. Raven got them clamps. Anybody says she don't, bugging. Stop it. Okay? Love her defense. I'm a defense person anyway. Love it. I like Maryland. And who got Alucci from Duke? You can't tell it Duke this year. You can tell Duke hurt this year. Oh, you could tell it hurt Duke this year. I don't know why I'm not dyslexic. Yeah, man. Duke definitely took a step back. Just with their production, you know what I'm saying? Obviously missing key player. You know what I mean? But they still well coached. And what I saw them do to Virginia Tech Live, it brought a tear to my eye. I said, so if they could continue to stay aggressive offensively, especially attacking the paint and going to the rack, because they got a lot of weapons still. But with Ashley Johnson and me here, I think their point guard number 22, yo, they got some weapons going into the paint, and then they got a big that all she do is get the ball and drive, right? So they still got some players and they got some weapons. Miss D said, "Sorry, shit, that's me. I think I was reading your comment. And I don't know. The words was getting jumbled because it's late. It's getting late. I'm just trying to get to this 24-25. Look, ESPN trying to hold me back. You know what? You know what? We ain't doing that, ESPN. We ain't doing that. So yeah, man. Other than that, like again, our top 25 teams, I can't argue with them per se. But what I can look at is and say, like, there are some teams that maybe could be moved up or down, but when you look at the total amount scored, points scored, and record and how they won, I guess you can say. But again, like, if I'm LSU, I might be arguing we a top 5 team, right? I don't know. LSU is averaging 109 points a game. Oklahoma State 94, Oklahoma 93.8, Texas 93, Iowa State 92, Michigan State 92, Michigan 92, South Carolina 90, Nebraska 89.8, and UConn 89.8. It's interesting when you start looking at stats, right? When you start looking at stats, you be like, damn, team scoring more. You know what I'm saying? Teams got undefeated records. Why we not a number 1 team? Why? And when you look at certain stats, you really can argue and be like, well, LSU, you got a point. You kind of got a point there. And who am I to like, that's why stats can go either way. If Texas is outscoring UConn by 4 points every game, they are undefeated as well, and they've played 2 more games, then one would say, damn, Texas is the number 1 team, not UConn. But it's always a but, right? So you can argue both sides. So who's really the best team in the NCAA? You know what I mean? And is that best team in the top 5? I don't know. I guess we got to keep watching to find out. But I know one thing. This upcoming month, like as we close out December and walk into January, we're going to start seeing some really intense games. And I can't wait because again, like the top of the season just be kind of like bogus. Y'all know that. Like, so it is what it is. Um but yeah, man, I appreciate y'all rocking with me. I appreciate everybody for pulling up to Her Core Her Rules, man, where we talk basketball, women's basketball specifically, NCAA and WNBA. I'm giving the WNBA a breather because we did all 44 games last season. So get them a little break, talk about NCAA, and then in January, we're going to pick back up with WNBA talking about Unrivaled and things like that. But as we close out December, make sure y'all pull up every Monday, okay? Where get you off my screen, get you back on here every Monday at 6 p.m. where we stream Her Core Her Rules, powered by Freer Lens, okay? And then on Wednesdays, we spin a block and we spin the topic around. We talk about Cavs state of mind, my silly ass Cavaliers who can't figure it out, who don't know how to play with heart. They need to walk down the brick road, get to where they need to get to, and get a heart. But don't worry about it. One of these days they're gonna get right. Hopefully by All-Star break. Hopefully. We got to stretch way out there. So pull up on Wednesday at 6 p.m. where we gonna talk about the Cavs state of mind. We ain't gonna talk about it long because they clueless. So it ain't gonna be long. But every Monday, again, we talk Her Core Her Rules, focusing on NCAA basketball. Last week we did the ACC edition. This week we did top 25 best teams and the best players in the NCAA women's basketball. So I appreciate everybody for pulling up. I appreciate everybody for hitting that like and hitting that subscribe on your way in or on your way out. Also, I appreciate everybody for rocking with Freer Lens and Beyond the Lens TV, man. We out here doing great things. So while y'all here, just show a little bit of love, man, and we gonna transfer the energy right back. Press play, hit like, hit subscribe, get into the comments, get into the chat every time you pull up. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing but a good thing, baby. Y'all have a good night. Peace and freedom. Y'all already know the vibes, and I see y'all on Wednesday, 6 p.m. Cav State of Mind. It's your girl, Naja Lee. Peace and freedom, y'all.